Welcome back. As the 2-year anniversary of Haiti's earthquake approaches, we visit with author Kent Annan. His book, Aftershock, wrestles with faith and doubt, hope and suffering as the aftermath of Haiti's devastation continues. It's a deeply spiritual country. What have you learned about where was God for these incredibly desperate people in such a huge tragedy?
Yeah, it's a tough question that I'm wrestling with, and I wrestled with myself in writing a book during the response. I've found so many people who are responding with gratitude where they had no right to be grateful, sort of in my opinion, you know, of still having life as so much crashed around them and giving thanks to God in the midst of this. But then I had a lot of conversations with friends I've known for a long time, and there's some wrestling with meaning and what does this mean, and is this a call to conversion? So they're wrestling with the theological questions. For me personally, I found myself angry in writing this sort of psalm of lament almost, and I found that I want a God who protects us from disaster, and I want a God who protects Haitians from disaster. And if anyone deserves to be protected, it's people living already on the edge of survival, and they don't get it. I want the God who keeps it from happening, but I think we can find, and they find, that they have a God who's with them in the midst of it.
So that's the wrap on this last year's news. Well, imagine what our future could be like if all the news we face in the year ahead were put through the most common value, a value that has universal application and appeal. And that value is sacrificial love, a value that originated in the life of Jesus. You know, a sports story of the year was Dallas quarterback Tim Tebow. He reminded himself and others of that common value by painting the source of self-sacrificial love on his game day face. He put out John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only son. Football and sacrificial love doesn't usually go together, and Tebow has hit his controversy for it. But just imagine if participants in every news story were asked to consider applying self-sacrificial love, love of God, and love of neighbor. For all the situations, what kind of difference would it make to receive and practice self-sacrificial life? That would be life beyond the headlines. Today's audience members will receive a complimentary book from Faith Family Books and Gift Store. And for your chance to get a free book, send us your feedback on today's program. Call our viewer feedback line, send us an email, or leave a video message. We're on Facebook, Twitter, at Context TV. Well, join us throughout 2012 as we continue to look at news and current events from a Christian perspective. I'm Lorna Dueck. Thank you for watching.